Hello and welcome back to Wargame with me, Gary. Another update on some figures that I've finished. I'm really pleased to be getting on with some more Ancient Assyrians. However, I'm saying I'm really pleased to be getting on with some more Ancient Assyrians. This is actually my last batch, so I've run out of Ancient Assyrian figures, so I need to get some more. But this is my archer regiment, as you can see, heavily armoured archers. And these are from the Shamash Corps, which are getting very close to being finished now. And what I will do is I will show you what I've done so far, what I've completed so far in regards to the Shamash Corps, because I think that's quite, I like to see all the figures out on the table when people have finished particular areas or a particular amount of figures. So I'm just playing with this and moving it around as I turn it around. But yeah, now when I war game with these, they will be strung out in line or skirmish order, so they won't be in a block like this. And that is historically correct. They were known, along with the slingers, to work as skirmishers, but they were also known to form a line in front of the spearmen and other line troops. Let's move that out a bit. So they were known to do that, and actually the archers and the slingers were known to work together. I forget which way around it was. I think the archers were in front line and the slingers were in the back line, and so the slingers would work over the top of the archers. I believe that's what it was, but I'll have to have a look up. So yeah, so quite organised, for that period. So that's what I've done. As you can see, I've lots of washes, lots of highlights. The bases I feel with the desert figures that I'm working on, I think I'm starting to get there. Actually, I'm really with my more northern hemisphere figures, I think I've still got quite a lot to do with the bases. But with these ones, I think I'm starting to get there. It's starting to look how I want it to look. So just a little bit more now. I watch other people's videos to get their ideas, how they do it. But yeah, I've purposely done, I think I've said this before, I've purposely done a mix of bronze and iron, which would be correct historically. The figures the time period I had hoped to use, or when I first started this, because I had no idea of the historical content or setup, I was actually looking to build armies around 1300, 1200 BC. So that kind of time period, which would have taken into account the first king of Assyria, which was a guy called Tudea. Hopefully, maybe he existed, but it's not really sure, but there is that possibility. However, these troops are much later. These are much more in line with the time of the ancient Assyrian Empire, which would be around about 800 BC to 600 BC. So these are much later. So I won't be using these as Tudea. So troops who will fight during the Tudea campaigns. But there's a lot I can use these for. I'm really interested in fighting some battles from ancient Assyrian period. But also, I did say I'm going to also use these as Trojans, because it's very similar. The film, which what's his name, Brad Pitt was in, Troy. I think they look very similar to the figures there, and I thought that looked really good. And then I'll use them against the more classical Greeks, which I'm painting as well. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I will show you all of the troops I've got. Oh, there was one other thing. Those of you with a very keen eye might have noticed there's no officers here. So I'm going to have to put that right, aren't I? I'll have to get some officers painted up and put them in there as well. So, but I won't. My plan is to try and paint a lot of what I've got now before I send off for any more figures. I don't need any more figures. I've got plenty to do. But what I might do is if I get that that itch where I've got to buy something, it will be ancient Assyrians. So so I'm well on the way. Oh, I was going to tell you what I'm short of in regards to my ancient Assyrian Shamash Corps. So I think I need a cavalry spearman unit or regiment. I need a slinger regiment. What else? I think that's it. So I'm just two regiments or units missing: slingers and mounted spearmen, and then that will be my first corps or my Shamash Corps, which could also be my first ancient Assyrian army. So yeah. So I'm quite pleased with it. I think they're starting to take more shape. And I think they're starting to look more how I would like them to look. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. So I hope the zoom in here isn't too much. Let's move it out just a little bit. Now I hope the zoom isn't too much. I'm just experimenting, see how that works out. So keep safe, everybody. I hope your projects are going as well. Are going well, and you're doing what you need to get done. And if you do need a break, take the break. Just have a rest. You know what I say? Rest is as good as a break. So I'll speak to you soon. All the very best. Take care. Bye bye.